So I've been making these guides for my guild Paragon. This is the first time I'm making a video for Floating Realm guide. So let me know if it's useful, and this will determine whether I continue to make these videos for Floating Realm or if I focus more time on Apex. So this guide is about preparing for Townhall 14. So the game is going to change once you unlock Townhall 14. Firstly, from Townhall 16 onwards, instead of mana pool, Lucky Wishing Machine becomes the most onerous core requirement. Buildings are going to start to require a lot more resources and time, and we'll see that in the upcoming pages. And mana also is going to start becoming the biggest constraint. So what does this mean? Um, Investing in what I call infrastructure, primarily storage, depending on you, whether you want to increase more workers in your apartment as well. I know people who have apartment obsession. I'm not one of them. I only have about 55 workers right now. That's okay with me. But storage is very important. And you should also continue to invest in all of your mana pools and associated resource buildings. So here I put down the upcoming town hall requirements for town hall 15 up to 20. What do we see here? So on the left, what I've added in for reference is the minimum storage that we're going to need, which is going to start increase very dramatically to 1 million at Town Hall for Town Hall level 15 requirements, which we're going to face very soon when once we start to unlock Town Hall 14 and we start to prepare our Town Hall 15 requirements. Up to 2.5 million for Town Hall 16 requirements, and then in the future it's going to reach about 3.5 million at Town Hall level 18. So that's one. The second thing is you can see is that the time taken for buildings is going to take a really long time. So your workers are going to be tied up for days, right, building this stuff. So it's up to you whether you want to have, a lot more workers so that you can be building, many buildings at a time, or just to kind of hoard resources. I think that's a little bit up to you on how you want to calculate and project that. So now I've got a bit of a tab on upgrading storage. And I've also added this sheet to Peach's Floating Realm Tracker. So you can go in there if you want to play around with the numbers yourself. I think one thing to highlight here is that what you can see is, first of all, in terms of our capacity, previously we've been seeing pretty small jumps, 40,000, then became 80,000. But from Storehouse 11 onwards, we start to see some much bigger jumps in numbers. The other thing, though, is that the resources required to build them have changed. So from 11 to 14, we only need limestone and limonite. So that's one thing to take note of. I've done some projections as well on what storehouses make sense to build to reach these minimum storage requirements. Right now, we're preparing for Town Hall 15 requirements. So what we can see here is we need to reach over 1.08 million. Because of the big jumps, I think it makes sense to focus on one storehouse one first and start getting that up to level 11. And as well as we get a fourth and final storehouse once we unlock Town Hall 14, which you should start to build up and get that to a minimum of a level 6. And your storehouse numbers may be different from mine, which is why if you want to, you can go into Peach's Floating Realm Tracker, plug in your own numbers, and kind of see if you're going to have enough capacity for that. I've done some projections for the Town Hall 16 and Town Hall 18 requirements as well. These are really rough numbers, but starts to give you a sense that very likely once we want to hit minimum storage of 2.5 million, we need to have two storehouses, at pretty high levels, so you can start to plan for that. Okay, mana. So mana starts becoming a constraint. Why? So I put in the total numbers here as well. I think one thing to note is that for Town Hall 16, we have two core requirements. Basically, you need to have your lucky wishing machine at level 3 and also build your Town Hall 16 as well. I've put in lucky 1 and 2 as well. It doesn't mean you wait until then to do that. You can start that as any time you get those millions of resources ready. So rough numbers for projection. What I've done is I've added this to the floating realm tracker as well under the mana sheet. But what I've put down in the projection here, you can plug and play the numbers yourself, but I wanted to see what it looked like if we have all four mana pools up to the maximum currently available level, which is level 14. That gives us 68 mana per minute. You can see I've calculated the hours and the days taken. It doesn't look so dreadfully bad once we reach our maximum burst. We know it's going to take some time to get there, right? So emphasizing that investing in your mana pools is extremely important because we're starting to see some really big numbers for mana requirements going in the future. And that's why mana is going to be the biggest constraint. So finally, summary for Town Hall 15 requirements. So once you start at your Town Hall 14 upgrade, you're going to get 2 days and 12 hours before that is finished. So first priority is to invest in storage. Minimally get storehouse number 1 to level 11. You might want to start slowly upgrading storehouse number 2 as well. Invest in mana pools, that's always important. If you want to build your Town Hall 15 requirements immediately once Town Hall 14 finishes, make sure that 9 workers are free. You're going to need 31 workers, and Town Hall 14 gives you 22. And you also need to save the following resources. At my current rate of productivity, that's estimated to be about 29 to 30 hours when required to collect all these materials. So you can use that as a rough gauge to start building new buildings about 30 hours before Town Hall 14 is completed if you want to start these core requirements going immediately. And of course, this projection is subject to your own productivity rates unless any supplies that you already have. Once you've unlocked Town Hall 14, the most important thing is you can start your level 14 mana pool and level 6 space time immediately. Both these buildings are going to take 48 hours to complete, and in total, they're going to use 31 workers. You should also start building your new storehouse and build it up to a minimum of level 6. So that level 6 requires 21 and a half hours total, and you start with using 5 workers, and at level 6, it needs 7 workers. You can also prepare for Town Hall 15 upgrade in 48 hours. Sorry, that's a typo. That's going to take 1.08 million lumber, limestone, and limonite, as well as 108k mana, which is going to take about 19 to 23 hours to produce, subject to your own productivity rates. And with spare resources, continue to upgrade your resources buildings. Honestly, some of your workers are going to be tied up in the storehouse. Depending on how many workers you have, you may be able to build 1 or 2 more buildings at the same time. And I will estimate about 40 to 50% of your effort should be used on storage and 50 to 60% effort on mana pool and the associated resource buildings. So hope you found that helpful and all the best in your floating realm.